What up? What up? It's your boy Vlad. I'm coming with a quick watch list video. Just gonna make sure everything is up and up, then we could certainly begin. I bet. It's your boy Vlad. Alright, everything's up and up. So, reason why I'm making this video. A couple of stocks just popped up on the reverse split watch list. So just wanted to tell you guys to keep an eye on it. And I actually brought one back in particular. SES. That's the first one I'm going to discuss. SES had a reverse split way back in July 19th. And pretty much since then, it really hasn't done anything. No spiking. No nothing. Reason why I'm bringing this back today for Monday is, according to Thinkorswim, they're going to announce earnings on 9/30/2019. So this is actually going to come after hours. Let me get it here. After market Central Standard. So pretty much when the market closes, they're going to announce it. One thing about SES that I like in particular, if I'm going back to my old, here it is right here, when I first put it on there, it only has a post-split count of 1.4 million. I mean, that is low in itself. So depending on how earnings is for this could really skyrocket Monday afternoon after the market closed into Tuesday. I am going to break one of my rules, and the rule is don't buy before earnings. I don't even know if it's going to be good or bad, and the reason why I'm going to buy it before earnings, and probably most scenarios I don't buy before earnings, is because just of the float count. Not a lot of shares that have been traded for this. Let me go to Yahoo Finance. The float in itself is under a million, slightly under a million. So even if it's good earnings or bad earnings, if it's bad earnings, I will be in and out, because I have seen sometime, even with bad earnings, you'll have a little spike, then it crash. So my plan is, before the market close on Monday, to do purchase some shares. Hopefully it get down a little bit lower. Because if it get a little bit lower, I know they typically do what they can not to let this get down to $1 mark or under $1. And if it does, it may trade for a couple of days under there, then spike back up. So definitely this is the number one stock that I have on my list for Monday, due to the fact that earnings is coming out. And good earnings like FRN, that announced good earnings, and you seen what this stock did. It shot up from, this was on the previous watch list, it shot up. It went from, closed at 516, next morning opened up at 994, and they got all the way to a high of 1949. With earnings, they can run for multiple days. So that's one good thing that I like about earnings. So I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on SES, because you never know with this. Because this could literally go from 1 to 10 the next day. And if it goes 1 to 10, you're welcome. But that's just only one that I have on the watch list. The second one is APEX. Now, APEX just hit the radar, and APEX, let me go to my notes. APEX. Alright, APEX. They have up until October 11th to get relisted on the NASDAQ, or else that's it for them, because they did multiple appeals to push it back. So October 11th is actually the last deadline for them to be able to get their shares up. And one thing that I like about APEX right now is trading. When they did their reverse split, it's only trading at $1.51. So for me, the sweet spot is right around this range. So come Monday, I will be buying up the shares. You know, I'm gonna buy it, do a 50 cents range. I mean, hopefully, if it can come down a little bit more. If it can, that would be awesome. That way, all I'm gonna do here just slowly build, and I'm gonna try to get as much shares as I can, waiting on October 11th. So with them, let me find. I think I have it pulled up here. That's for them. It's not them. Oh, there you go. Right here. Bid. So right here, it explained the whole process of how many appeals that they did just to be able to get to the point. So here's the sentence here. It says, to regain compliance. Let me zoom in for you. It says, to regain compliance, we must demonstrate on or before October 11, 2019 that our common stock traded with a closing bid price of at least $1 per share for a minimum of 10 consecutive days. So day number 1 would be considered Friday. And let's just do the count now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're right there on the cuff. So they're going to have to do everything that they can to keep this share up at least above $1 for 10 consecutive days. And not only that, with NASDAQ, they like to see volume too. Because not only do they have to keep their shares up, but they like to see volume of the stock to gradually go up, and also for it to have a upward trend. So APEX, this is strongly the second one on my watch list. TTPH, I did put this on the watch list. It just did a reverse. This one, they do have a couple warrants. It should be executing right about now, so I think in the next couple of days this should start to fade. But they don't have to, I don't think they have to regain compliance until like December, so I don't think they're in any rush. But definitely still keep an eye on it, because with these low float, let me see, what was the float for? Oh, and to go back to the APEX, Float of it is 5.5 million. Well, that's how many shares that are outstanding. The float may be a little bit cheaper. TTPH, definitely a low float. Shares outstanding 2.7 million. So just look out for it for news and for it to skyrocket. Some may, I mean, with these, like I said, generally, I always try to do 1 point and be out. So that's about the best case scenario for me. I mean, I know these stocks tend to have a lot of upside, but for me, I only try to get a point. If I get more than a point, then great. But that's what I aim for. VIVE, last video talked about it. So I've been slowly adding on this VIVE. Right now, I think I got an average of 590. So I'm down, 90 cents, 89 cents. But as it continues to keep fading, I'm gradually adding a little bit more. Because I did add just a little bit around the 6, and in the 5s, and then the mid 5s. So hopefully if it goes to the 4s, may add around 440. And at around 3, then my numbers start to go bigger and bigger once it get down to the dollar mark. I wasn't expecting this to fade as much as it did, but nonetheless, I'm already got skin in the game. So hopefully it's one of those scenarios. I'm already in the game. Then as soon as PR come out, then I'm already above where I have my average at. And that way I could start adding in a little bit more once it spiked. So VIVE, it do have, like I mentioned earlier in my last video, does have warrants around in the 10s. And also I did see some, it had a lot of warrants. And I think that's the reason why. I think it had like $5 million worth of warrants. So I think this is the reason why it kept going down, because the other ones they're on the upper 8. So I think maybe after not tomorrow, but Monday, I think all the warrants would be executed, and for them to be able to release some type of press release, because this is a medical company. So medical companies, they tend to run, and they tend to run a lot further than what you think, especially with these low floats. As I mentioned previously before with this one, you're looking at 600,000 total of shares outstanding, and the float of it, I think it was like 300 or 400,000. So it is a micro float. So I'm looking for big things for this in the near future. And I don't think there any rush to get compliance as well too. But and another thing too, with them, not only do they need to be in compliance with the minimum bid, but as well as shareholders equity. So they will at some point do another offering, and I did see in their perspective. Let me get it pulled up. Disclosure. They got it right here. The S1. They're getting one lined up. 8 million. They haven't done anything yet, but they're getting it lined up because I think they're gonna have a massive spike. And once they do have the massive spike, they're gonna dilute their shares. Because right now they are deficient in their shareholders' equity. based upon their last 10Q. Let me get that pulled up. Going down right here. So they need to be in compliance with that too, with NASDAQ. And I think they have up until November to be able to be in compliance. I think after November as well, they could still do another appeal. So it's not really the lot. So they still have a couple of strikes that they could still use to be able to get in compliance. But definitely have an eye on that. TWMC. I did exit out of this for a small profit, but I still have it on my watch list. And I think this, if it have some type of PR, that it could really spike. So we're still waiting on this. So I still have an eye on it. I may buy it if it look like it's been holding around like 258, 250s. So if it get like closer down to the twos, I certainly will buy it. But it do have a lot of resistance around the threes, 330s, or first 320, and that's on 325, then 335. But I did exit out of this already for a small profit. But yeah, these are the stocks that for you to definitely watch for Monday. Keep an eye on PR. So this is Vlad signing off. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And let's get ready for Monday for trading. Peace.